Hey guys, welcome back to At Home Macon, where we're sitting down with today Brad Evans from the Society Garden. We're going to talk about all things Society Garden, how long they've been there, the origins of the name, where Society Garden actually comes from. They're amazing decor. They're 14-foot tall Stompy, and really everything just went into making this such a beautiful and unique place. So sit back, enjoy this episode. I'll talk to you soon. Join us with Brad Evans. Awesome. Do you want to go ahead and kind of introduce Society Garden to the camera and address?
Sure.
And stuff?
So yeah, I'm Brad Evans. I'm the owner and manager here of Society Garden. We're located at 2389 Suite B, Ingleside Avenue, right next to Ingleside Village Pizza.
Awesome, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you for having us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Enjoy everything, the setup, the decoration, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit what is Society Garden?
I mean, we're a beer and wine garden. We're a true beer garden. We're all outside. You know, we have over 90 craft beers.
Wow.
We have a lot of wine slushies, I think, have been made famous by us. But this year, we just decided to add liquor to our menu, so we do craft cocktails now as well.
Okay, what's a wine slushie?
Well, it's just wine. You know, we just put different kinds of wine in slushy machines, and it makes it better somehow.
Do you do red wine and white wine?
We do.
Wow.
We do both. We do rosé, and we do like a blackberry merlot. It's kind of a sweeter wine that's really good. And now, of course, we have added liquor to the mix with our slushies as well.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, right now we're doing, I think, Christmas margarita, which is made with cream of coconut and all kinds of good stuff. And we're doing a Christmas punch that's made with Pimm's liqueur and cranberry, pomegranate. We come up with some, and then we have our craft cocktail gal, Brooke Scott, comes up with a lot of our recipes.
That's fantastic. So how long have y'all been down here? 4 years now?
Yeah, well, we're creeping up on 4 years, I think. October of next year will be 4 years.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. Yeah, we didn't really anticipate what this place would become, and I don't think we really stopped growing and stopped kind of creating our space. We do it constantly. We're always changing things, always adding things. So it's kind of a nonstop process for us.
Fantastic. What was the idea 4 years ago? Because I know we talked a little bit before the
Yeah.
camera started rolling. So you own a bar on Tybee, and then, I mean, I definitely want to talk about that, but then also roll into what used to be here 20 years ago, because what y'all do with the name is fantastic. I'll start with the
Sure.
origins.
So yeah, my wife and I met at a bar that I helped start on Tybee Island called Huckaboo's, and that's where I saw my wife for the first time. That's where we met, fell in love, and
love at first sight.
it absolutely was. And so that's where we met, and you know, life went on, and I ended up selling my portion of that business to start a newspaper here in Macon, and my wife and I did that for 18 years.
What was that newspaper?
It's called the 11th Hour.
Okay.
And so Megan kept riding. We lived in this neighborhood, and Megan kept riding by the space, which was empty. About 20 years ago, it was called the Society Gardener. It was a nursery. She sold pottery and plants and all kinds of unique, like, home goods here.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of remembers it that lived here back then. It was a pretty unique space. And so, but it had been empty for years and years here, and certain people had tried to start businesses here and failed. So Meg would always ride by and say, we need to start a beer garden there. We need to start a beer garden there. And, you know, I think probably one afternoon or around a fire somewhere, she finally talked myself and our other partner, Andrew Collier, into it.
Yeah.
So we just came over here and asked the people who were here if they would get out of their lease so we could take over the lease. And we got to work. We built, built everything and did pretty much everything ourselves. So it took about 6 months to get going, and from day one, it's just been amazing how well received it was. You know, I think part of that is, I mean, it's a pretty cool space. And my wife sees to that. She's really into design and things like that. That's what she went to school for. So, you know, I think that's part of it. And I think a lot of it is where we live. You know, we live in the Ingleside neighborhood. This is a neighborhood filled with young families, you know, and our place is family friendly. It always has been. You know, you can bring your kids down here and they can, you know, we resurrected a slide from Henry Burns Park that was there, I think, in the 1950s, and that had gone into disarray. And so we brought that back to life, and it sits out here at the Society Garden. We have lots of stuff for kids to do. So I think we were the first kind of space that allowed parents to come have a drink and entertain their kids at the same time. I mean, I didn't realize that needed to be a thing until I had my own kids. You know, parents like to go out too, and, you know, taking kids to a restaurant can be quite the endeavor.
Yeah, so there's places for both the parents and the kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's beautiful outdoor space, and the only thing I definitely want to touch on is the design. I mean, the design element is like unother than any other business I've seen in Macon.
Yeah.
So it sounds like your wife did a lot of design work.
She did.
What's the idea, the designs behind it? Just tell us a little more about it. Definitely
You
want to
know,
talk about
I mean,
just
a lot of it is our friends. You know, we're friends with a lot of great artists. So one of the first things that we did was ask some of our friends to come here and paint murals here for us. So we just covered the walls in murals. And
what are some of the murals that we got going on?
So, I mean, the most famous one you see in every photo was done by Alexis Gregg. It's right here, out here on the main wall when you come down the stairs on our right. And then we had Sarah Tinsley Parker do a few more. And then, you know, most recently we had Jex, which is the world famous graffiti artist, come and paint Little Richard on our other wall, which is you know, that was a huge get for us for him to come down and do that. And so, you know, but since then it's always a constant process. We're always thinking of the next thing that we want to do to this space. We never really stop adding on or building or creating something else. So, you know, a lot of the harebrained weird ideas come from me, and we all sit down and figure out how to make them happen. There you go. You know?
What's the most recent project y'all taking on down here?
The most recent project is our hand-carved fireplace we have out there, and a guy named Tanner Coleman made that for us. So he gets wet brick, so like it looks like clay, and he gets it from Cherokee Brick Company, and he stacks it up, and then he carves it with hand tools, and then he takes all the bricks apart and labels them so he knows where they go. And it's a very hard process. And then he sends them back to Cherokee Brick, fires them, so they come back all carved, and then he puts it back together. So, I mean, it's a one of a kind. There's not another fireplace like it in the world that sits right here on our property now. And so we're lucky enough to have partnerships with people like Beech Tree Supply here in Macon that donated the fireplace insert, and Cherokee Brick, which donated some of the bricks. So, you know, we're always constantly reaching out to our neighborhood partners in Macon. That's one thing that's so great about it. It's really easy to find those people who are willing to help you.
Is that an indoor or outdoor fireplace?
It's an outdoor fireplace. It's right out in the outdoor space.
For the
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sit around the fire.
Awesome. Some other design elements you got going on, we talked about a little bit earlier, probably gonna be the first thing you notice, definitely when you walk through the back gate. Yeah. Is the, 12-foot tall? I can only imagine 12 big.
14-foot tall.
14-foot tall troll?
Beer troll, yes.
Beer troll.
Yeah, we call him the beer troll. What is your name for him?
Stompy.
Stompy, right? The beer troll. So, yeah, I'd seen these giant trolls all around the world that people build, and there's a fella out in Jones County that had one built on his farm, and he hooked me up with this guy from northern Michigan who is James Dinkins. He's I think in his 70s. He's a retired pipe fitter, and he's the world's fastest chainsaw carver.
He's in his 70s, and he's also the world's fastest. Oh, wow.
And so I connected with him, and we talked, and you know,
cold calls.
It was like I did, yeah. And so it took about a year for us to get on his schedule. So he's coming through the South, and he's going to stop by and do this thing. And there's so many logistics. You know, you have to find these trees that he carves out of, and you have to get them here, which requires cranes. And so it was hard, you know. Again, like we found a great community partner in Montgomery Tree Service, and he came out with his crane, and we stood this, you know, 2,000-pound log up on its end and stabilized it, and he sat there with us and did it for free just so he could be a part of it.
What was the cleanup afterwards?
A lot of sawdust, and so we did it over 3 days, and we built an event around it, and you know, people from all over the place came and sat and drank beer and watched this guy do this for us. And we loved it so much we had him back this year again. So he came and carved not such an intense project. It only took him 1 day to do the things that he did, but you know, that beer troll was it's definitely one of my favorite things here.
Absolutely, it's mine here too. What was the process like of just washing going? Like, was he going super fast doing it, or?
I mean, it's fast.
Like, how long would that take? An average wood carver?
Weeks, maybe months. You know, he did it in 3 days. So yes, and he has no drawings, no measurements. It's all in his head. So he just looks at the log, and you know, it's all different pieces. So his body's one log, his arms one log, his hands are one log, and they attach them all together with these really long lag bolts. But you know, it took 5 of us, and we were out there, you know, 14, 15 hours a day working on the thing. He almost worked me to death, and he's, you know, 30 years older than me. But
And he was out here, like, was he doing an hour an hour? Or did he
Oh yeah, no, he was out here.
Or what?
No, he was out here from 6 in the morning until 10 at night.
That's rough.
Yeah.
No, by
He
far
didn't seem to mind. Yeah, it was worth it.
Yeah, it sounds like the community really came together and y'all made a whole event out of it.
Yeah, we did. We did. It was fun.
Is that something y'all really thrive off of?
Yeah, events are our bread and butter, man. We just, gosh, we're really good at putting on events.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's our strength. Is like we can pull whatever out of our hat and make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's a 0.5K that have 800 people here just to run down the block and back. Yeah.
Is that something y'all have done?
We have done that. You know, we just a few weeks ago we did the Festival of Darkness where we had fire breathers and tarot card readers and sword swallowers, and it was it's always something like that going on here. And you know, that's changed this year a lot. We have to limit our capacity, but we're still able to do it because we're 95% of our space is outside. You know, so our space can normally hold 700-800 people if we really squeeze them in. We've been limiting that to less than 200 people since March. So you know, there's lots of space to get away from other people. You don't want to be around other people. And I think that's allowed us to continue doing business during this weird, strange time, you know?
Absolutely. We definitely want to talk about more of the Corona and how people can support you and your business. But going back to the events for a little bit, is there an event you're most proud of or the one you enjoy the most? Or maybe like an annual event y'all plan to do again?
Well, yeah, most of our events kind of are repeating, you know, but I think the Festival of Darkness may be my favorite. It's just a really unique space to walk into that night because we really have carnies from all over the Southeast. I don't know, man. Yeah, I've just met people throughout my life that do that kind of thing, and they know people. You know, it's just kind of, I'm a magnet to those kind of people, I think. But the whole space is just transformed that night. So you'll come down and there'll be just people standing everywhere, breathing fire and juggling and on stilts and all this it's just kind of a weird, unique vibe that night. And I've always really enjoyed it. Yeah, like it is kind of like a circus.
Right. So let's kind of go back to the Corona talk a little bit. How has Corona kind of affected the business down here? Have y'all adjusted? Because obviously that has to be a big shift.
It was definitely a big shift for us.
Y'all are a gathering place.
We are, for sure.
Doesn't go off Corona.
So, you know, in March, we were completely shut down. Yeah. You know, and it was like, you know, one day we're open. The next day we were like, okay, we got to close. And we closed before we were required to. And we were completely shut down for 3 months.
Wow. What was that like?
It was depressing because it just so happened it was during the most beautiful spring that I'd ever remember seeing in Macon. It was like 70 degrees and perfect, that's when we really make our money, when the weather's nice because we're outside. Yeah. So, you know, that was hard to get through, but we also had a lot of anxiety because we didn't know what was really happening in the world. And so, you know, in June, by the time June got here and we were able to open back up, though, we were ready. And we did have a tremendous amount of community support during COVID. We got the Little Richard mural paid for by our community in a GoFundMe campaign to raise the money in less than 24 hours to get that painted. So that happened during COVID. We would have never been able to get that artist any other time because he travels the world. Yeah. I mean, he's like all over the world every week. So him coming to Macon would have never been a thing had he not gotten so many gigs canceled because of COVID.
Y'all got a lot of publicity because of that event.
We did. It was really big, and it continues to be very big. But so, you know, opening back up, we took every precaution we could take. You know, we had plexiglass across the bar. You can't sit at the bar anymore. My job is to protect my employees the best that I can and try to encourage our patrons to do what's right, you know. And some of them do, some of them don't, and I appreciate every single one of them, you know. So, and I need every single one of them here. So we've just tried to cater to everyone the best we know how, the safest way we know how. And so far, we've been able to do that.
Actually, that's awesome. So kind of going off that a little bit, we're going into 2021 here soon. What are some ways that the Macon community, they see this video and they want to come support you? How can they come support you?
Well, just come have a beer, come have a craft cocktail, and come enjoy some live music. We are one of the few places in Macon where you can enjoy live music outside and feel safe. And I'm happy to be able to provide that space both for patrons of live music and for the musicians themselves who need work right now too. So, you know, we're going into winter now, which is our slower time of year for us, but it'll be over soon. And
you have that beautiful new fireplace.
Yeah, yeah, we have lots of. So we have 4 fireplaces here, lots of places to get warm, and we have this gorgeous inside space now that's focusing on craft cocktails. And you don't actually have to come inside to order. We have these 2 windows back here, so you can still stay outside and order from this bar too. So this weekend we're starting homemade hot chocolate. You know, she's making her own, melting her own chocolate, and we'll have that available, and we'll have lots of good hot toddies for you as well.
Fantastic, fantastic. So let's kind of talk about the customer experience a little bit. Walking through down the steps in the very front, what do y'all want the customer experience to be like?
I mean, I just don't want it to be like any other place in Macon, you know, and I think that's what drives us more than anything, to just keep creating this space that is not going to be like any other place you see in Macon. And I think we've done that. I think we've continued to do it, and we've got plans for lots more. Hopefully this spring we're going to be building a huge live topiary out near the fountain, so it'll be about 25 feet tall.
Wow.
And it's going to be really cool. So I just want this place to be the most unique garden you could ever see anywhere.
I think you are achieving that right now.
Yeah. So that's our plan. Keep building, keep wowing people, and you know, keep having fun.
There you go. That's incredible. Are there any kind of like more reoccurring events unusual? Because I know y'all do trivia every once in a while. Someone wants to go. I want to go next week, but I want to do something.
So every Wednesday we do music bingo.
Okay, music bingo.
Hey Ella. Sorry.
It's okay.
You got this out right. Hey Ella.
Might just leave it in.
Please be quiet, okay?
Do you mind if I ask him a question a little bit?
No. Please. Just be still, okay? Yeah. It's fine.
Absolutely.
I promise you're gonna get your chance. So every Wednesday we do music bingo.
Okay.
We have a DJ come in and he does a lot of quizzes around music, and that's a lot of fun. And then every Thursday we do trivia.
Yeah.
Every Friday, Saturday we do live music.
Okay.
When it's warm outside, we do reggae every Sunday. We have reggae Sundays. Unfortunately, that's another one of my favorite events, and it's something that has built such a big audience, and it's such a unique audience there. You know, live music every Friday and Saturday night that's our big thing right now.
What's the live music like here? Because I noticed you have the stage out back.
We do. We have a stage out back, and gosh, it's so diverse. We do a little bit of everything. Like I said, reggae, rock and roll, hip hop, heavy metal. We've done it all, and I think that's the thing that I'm most proud about with this space. Is it's truly a diverse space. You know, people of every kind, every shape, every color come here, and that's the thing that I love about it the most, for sure.
And these gonna be local artists or what?
Both. We do regional and local artists, and some national artists. So we do a lot of different stuff.
Fantastic. You mind if I ask them a question?
Absolutely not.
You ready to answer a question?
Ready?
So I want to know, what is y'all's favorite thing about Society Garden? Like, what's your favorite thing about being here? Okay.
Some Sprite.
So what you're saying is it's super, like, kids can come here.
Yes.
You can bring your kids.
And
it's
they
super
do.
family friendly, just because
And they do. They absolutely. You know, we don't allow kids inside, but outside kids can come, and lots of families do. You know, it's a great happy hour spot on Friday night. And you know, now with IBP not having their dining room open currently for COVID, they actually have a kiosk here where you can go order pizza at our bar, and they'll bring it down to your seat out here. So that's been a big thing for us. Yeah, it is. You know, we're good friends with Tina, and we enjoy being her neighbor.
That's absolutely awesome.
So
that's awesome. I'm trying to think what else. You have any big events coming up for 2021? We already talked about that.
Well, our next big event, we're doing Murray's Light. I don't know if this will come out in time, but Murray's Light is next Saturday night. It's a benefit they do every year for a girl named Murray Nixon, who was killed in an auto accident a few years back. And Christmas was her favorite holiday, and we're proud to host that event every year, and so that's coming up. We'll do a campfire jam that following weekend. We'll have a gospel choir here and some musicians here doing Christmas carols. We'll have Maggie Renfro play that night, and that's always a big night. And then our New Year's Eve we do for kids, so we do a kids' New Year's Eve party. And that event starts at 6, and we have a fake New Year's countdown at 8.
Okay.
So we have a full DJ, snow machines. Generally, this place will have 500 kids here for that.
Wow.
We won't be doing that this year. Obviously, we have to limit our capacity.
Yeah.
But we will have kids here that are, man, it's a lot of fun, isn't it, Ella?
Yeah.
Well, it's not
it's
exactly
a real
midnight,
countdown.
you know.
They're definitely counting down.
So we pretend it's the New Year at 8 o'clock instead of midnight because you
gotta
can't
get
really
in
stay
bed.
up to midnight.
It's bedtime. I go to bed at 9:30 every
Yeah, I
night.
never make it to midnight.
No, it's too late.
So that's always a lot of fun, and that'll be coming up too. And then, you know, January and February really slows down for us as far as events go. We just kind of hold on for the next 2 months until March, and then March will be kicking up everything again.
Fantastic. So you and your wife have been here for 20 years, right?
Close to 20 years now. Yeah, 19.
Kind of her side of the family?
No, her family's from northern Michigan.
Okay.
My family's from South Georgia.
What brought y'all to Macon?
Well, we started a newspaper here,
Okay.
the 11th Hour, and we had started one in Statesboro. We
Yeah.
were literally looking for other cities and
Okay.
spotted Macon on the map, and it had enough people,
There you go.
and we just did it. And
You
we
stayed?
moved here and been here ever since. Yeah.
What's the kind of transformation you've seen over Macon in the last 20
Oh
years?
man, I mean, it's been amazing. I mean, when we got here, within a couple of years, we lived on Cherry Street.
Okay.
And at that time, I think there was maybe 8 people living on Cherry Street. You know, I
Different
could walk my dogs on Cherry Street with no leash. Like there's nobody down there. And you know, you can see now what's happening downtown is amazing. But what's happening in this neighborhood's amazing too. I mean, there's so many young families that are moving to the Ingleside area. So many families moving to Macon from other areas. I mean,
hasn't this area kind of been termed Midtown Macon?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. And you know, we own some rental properties in this area as well. We love this neighborhood and want to continue to invest in it. And I think, you know, the real estate market's super hot right now in Macon. I mean, you can't list anything without it selling fast. So
that's fantastic. Macon's market is true.
Yeah.
People love Macon, especially Ingleside Village, downtown.
Well, you can still get something that's affordable here,
I
man.
know.
You know,
it's nothing like Atlanta or some of the big metro cities where you can't really get a really nice house for a nice price or something like that, or you sacrifice area or school or something like that. So Macon is definitely a wonderful city. In my opinion.
And we live in this neighborhood. Our kids go to school in this neighborhood, and we work in this neighborhood, all within a 5-block area. You know?
What kind of feel do you think Ingleside Village has? Like, if you had to describe Ingleside Village for someone who wants to potentially come visit.
I mean, I think it's the most family-friendly neighborhood in Macon.
Okay.
You know, I don't want to live in North Macon personally. You know, I want to be a little bit near the center of town and downtown. And, you know, so for me, I'd rather be around a lot more young families and a lot more things to do. And I think Ingleside has that. You know, it's less than 2 miles from downtown. And we got a lot of stuff right here in Ingleside Village too. It's got the best hardware store on the planet, maybe, Carson Denson. You got the best pizza in Macon right here at IVP. You got the best barbecue right down the street at Jody's. I mean, what else could you want? You can get your haircut right next door. You got a great Jamaican place across the street, Tropical Flavor. And gosh, I mean, I can walk to all those places.
There you go. All the same day. You get your haircut,
exactly.
get your beer.
Exactly. So
Fantastic.
I love this place.
What's your take on Macon? How would you describe Macon for someone else?
You know, it's got its problems, like every big city, but I love it. I love its character. I love its characters.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, you know, colorful people that live here that I've had the pleasure of knowing, and I'll never forget. But you know, I think ultimately, you know, Macon has some things to work on. I want to see our school systems get better. You know, my wife and I are dedicated to our public school system, and I want to see more people jump on that boat with us, because that's what it needs. It needs parents who care about their kids and care about other kids too. So that's what I want to see out of Macon. I want to see our police force do a little better. You know, I want to see them get compensated better.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of hope for that too. We have some newly elected commissioners that I have a lot of faith in. Seth Clark is one of those. He's my commissioner here in Ingleside, and I'm proud of him. And I look forward to seeing what they get done.
Absolutely. How would you kind of tying that back into the Macon community? Obviously, the community support y'all out with the GoFundMe campaign. How would you describe the Macon community specifically to Ingleside Village and supporting y'all?
I mean, it's been amazing. It's what makes us tick. You know, that the people, and they're so supportive. Anytime you ask them for anything, the answer is always yes. And you know, through this very uncertain time, I don't think we would have gotten through it without a lot of these people in our neighborhood. And you know, we certainly won't forget that.
Absolutely, that's fantastic. Is there any kind of things that you want people in the community to know about Society Garden that they may mistake? Does that make sense? Or they haven't misinterpreted or anything like that?
No, I mean, I really think, you know, we are what you see.
Yeah.
You know, I'm okay with that.
There you go.
I don't think there's any anything that you can mistake us for. You know, I hope that everybody feels welcome, because everybody certainly is. You know, and that's been a big thing for us, is that we're not just one kind of place. We're every kind of place.
Exactly.
So, I want to continue down that road as far as I can go.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Is there a particular place or particular thing about Society Garden that's your favorite, that you enjoy the most?
Man, I never get to enjoy. I never get to enjoy this place.
Always working?
Yeah, I'm always working. So I get to, if I'm here, somebody's asking me to lift something or carry something or move something, or, you know, but I know that my kids enjoy growing up around here, and it's given me the kind of life that I want, you know. So I'm proud of every aspect of this place, and I wouldn't change a thing.
Of course. Awesome. Huh? Y'all want to be on?
All right, you ready? Come on, sit up there.
I heard when we first walked up, y'all had a puppy. Is that right?
Yes.
What's your puppy's name?
We call her sometimes Toots and sometimes Tootsie, but her real name's Tootsie.
Okay, Toots. Toots and Tootsie.
Yes, her name is Tootsie.
Awesome. What is y'all's favorite thing about the Society Garden? Around live music, friends, and fright.
Yeah. But I really like how that sometimes there's weddings here, because sometimes I can look out the windows and see the flowers and everybody coming in with the decorations.
Okay.
I also like the disco hanging from the sky. We can disco.
Awesome.
But I think my favorite thing about here is all my dad and the paintings.
What is one thing you wish more people knew about Society Garden? What do you wish?
Like, I wish that maybe everybody lived around this street, because it's a great little street. They could just come and drink.
Yeah. You think more people should come here?
Yes.
You should tell people, more people come here, look in the camera and tell them they should come down here?
More people should come here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Awesome. You expect to have a good time when they come down here?
Yes, I believe they do, because lots of families.
Families, and can you bring your dogs down here? Can you bring a dog? Dogs?
Yeah. Yes. I wouldn't think of bringing cats,
Okay,
though.
Cats, bunnies.
No cats.
No camels. Awesome.
Unless they're gonna drink here.
Fantastic.
So yeah, we hope you'll come see us at the Society Garden. We're located at 2389 Suite B, Ingleside Avenue, right next to Ingleside Village Pizza, if you know that area. And we just want you to come visit, come have a good time, come have a beer, come have a craft cocktail, and we'll keep the fire on for you this winter.
Fantastic. Awesome, Brad. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome, guys. Well, that was At Home Macon. At Home Macon. See y'all soon.